A New York federal judge on Friday ordered the jailing of convicted drug dealer and predatory lender Jonathan Braun, whose 10-year prison sentence was commuted in 2021 by President Donald Trump after a string of arrests over the past 7 months. Braun was arrested last weekend on Long Island on state charges of assaulting an acquaintance, and that man's 3-year-old child, the New York Times revealed Tuesday. Before that, he was arrested multiple other times on state charges, including for allegedly assaulting his wife and his 75-year-old father-in-law, groping a nanny's breast, menacing healthcare workers with an IV pole at a Long Island hospital, and petty larceny, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Brooklyn. Those arrests led the U.S. Probation Office to charge Braun with 7 violations of his federal supervised release, which continued after his release from prison in 2021. U.S. Marshals found and arrested Braun at a hotel on Friday morning after not finding him at his Long Island home. The U.S. Attorney's Office is prosecuting him in the case, where he faces up to 5 years in prison if convicted. Brooklyn U.S. District Court Judge Kyo Matsumoto ordered Braun detained during an arraignment hearing Friday, ruling that he is a danger to the community and a flight risk. Braun pleaded not guilty at a hearing. The behavior is erratic, Matsumoto said at the arraignment, the Times reported. There's the potential someone could really get hurt. The judge scheduled a hearing on the violations for next Thursday. White House spokesman Harrison Fields, in a statement the White House sent to CNBC after being asked about Braun's arrests, said, "Through President Trump's First Step Act, countless Americans were granted a new lease on life, including our newly named pardon czar, Alice Johnson. The president stands by his actions," Fields said. "There is always a risk in granting pardons, and it's unfortunate when this privilege is abused." Braun had served more than 5 years in federal prison for a conviction of conspiracy to import marijuana and commit money laundering when Trump commuted his criminal sentence on January 20, 2021, hours before leaving the White House. That act of executive clemency left Braun on supervised release in his federal criminal case. The New York Times previously reported that Trump's commutation thwarted an ongoing effort by prosecutors to negotiate a cooperation deal with Braun that would have freed him from prison in exchange for his offering information about other predatory lenders for a criminal investigation. The Times also reported that Braun's family used connections it had to the family of Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who was a senior White House aide at the time, to set in motion the clemency. Braun was fined $20 million in February 2024 by Manhattan federal court judge Jed Rakoff in a civil case where the Federal Trade Commission had sued Braun for predatory lending practices. The evidence shows that Mr. Braun not only personally participated in this illegal conduct, but did so gleefully, with little remorse, Rakoff wrote in a ruling.